Talking Music with Big Andy. This week, Foxy Wombat, talking music with me, Big Andy. Hello and welcome to the podcast, and I have with me a band from the Brighton area called Foxy Wombat. Hi guys.
Hey.
Hi,
Hello.
Hi. Now, a very interesting thing I have found recently is the amount of bands that I've been talking to that I can find very little about on the internet. So far, I found out that you're from Brighton Telford area, that it says you're a quartet. Is there someone missing?
Yeah. I was hoping that wouldn't come up.
Oh yeah, we should have addressed.
We should have mentioned that. Yeah. I mean, there's having a changeover at the minute.
Yeah,
That's the
okay.
best way to say it. There's been a little changeover.
Fair enough.
We'll be back to a quartet tomorrow, most likely. Just in poor timing, really.
yeah. Auditions are tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you got 3 singles out at the moment. You got videos for them on YouTube. Is there any other music up anywhere?
We've got 3 singles. We've got 2 music videos. We're still working on the little one, or the first one. We've got a remix out as well of one of the ones that's already been out. At the minute, that's about it. There's some covers on YouTube you can find that from, I imagine, working away nearly 2 years ago now, I think.
Right. So could you introduce yourselves individually?
Yeah. So I'm Rob Burnage. I play bass for the band.
Okay.
I'm Ross Wheeler. I attempt to sing and play guitar.
I'm Dean Theodosio, and I play guitar.
Right. Okay. That was the only other thing I managed to find online. Actually, was an interview with Dean about your dogs.
Yeah.
I love that one. It's so
Yeah.
cool as well.
That was a really surreal thing. So the lady who does our PR knows me and knows that I share a lot of my dogs and my music, and this interview slot came up that I do both of those things, and I was able to.
Wonderful. Worlds collide.
Okay. So how did you all get together? Where did it all start?
Oof, that is a question. Well, it started as when I was back in uni. It started as a project just to do some assessments. So I went to the music degree, and it was just literally a way of fulfilling these assessments. It was a different lineup. It's changed quite a bit. I won't bore you with all that. But how it started with Dean is we were looking for a guitarist. We met up. Funny enough, the day before, literally the day before the UK went into a lockdown. Worst timing.
Yeah.
Met up at a pub, and then next day, boom, couldn't actually meet up for ages. Actually,
Yeah,
it was
awful.
so it was a very stunted start, unfortunately. But and then it's just been well, I've been trying to make it work since then, really, and doing whatever we can apart to yeah, it's been hasn't been the best start. It's been the most.
No, it's been difficult for a lot of bands. There's a few bands I've talked to who managed to start the things literally just before it all went into lockdown and stuff, and they've had to kind of do stuff on Zoom and over phones and things, which is quite bizarre. I'm amazed you've actually managed to get as much done as you have then, given that.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I think it's because we were desperate to get on with things, and there was lifts of the lockdown, and then the second there were like the lockdowns were over for the time being, we would get to rehearsal room and get really excited.
Any legal way of meeting up, we did.
And then obviously there's like 3 lockdowns, and we managed to get some time in between each one. So we just didn't want to sit on it anymore, so we tried to do everything else we could in the time.
Yeah, just trying to find like different ways that we can still be creating content whilst we couldn't be meeting up. So obviously been in contact with people to make remixes and other ways to do music videos that
I mean,
wasn't the initial intention or the initial plan, but just sort of trying to do what we could,
especially with the especially with the Deja Vu one, the video we did, that was nowhere near the initial plan. We had many different plans, starting from Christmas or before that we were like hopeful to get in. We've actually worked with other people, but in the end obviously just kept getting pushed back, and what we were able to do just kept changing. So like, screw it, let's just do it ourselves. So it ended up being in my flat, some party stuff. We got a camera. We had a smoke machine, luckily, as you just do have one around the house. And
all good bands have got a smoke machine somewhere.
Have one. Some light show, no. And then we just did that. We never made anything like that before. We never really shot anything like that before, and I never edited anything before as well. So that was me and my partner who did that. That one, and also the promo photos or anything like that we would take ourselves, edit ourselves. That's it's been a lot of learning.
It was either learn to do a lot of things ourselves or just not have it done at all. So I think learn a lot of good skills through that.
You seem lost in life, waiting only for the weekend to arrive. Blink twice and it's so good, watching all your friends just play along, and it's so wrong.
So what are your influences then? Because I mean, to me, it's I don't know. I saw it described as being pop rock, and I kind of see that it is, but it doesn't sound just pop rock. There's a lot of other stuff mixed in there, and I just wonder what influences you all had.
I find it might be easier if we go like side by side, because there's so many I could list. Maybe get a few of each.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess for writing, like for an indie pop rock kind of project, I guess it'd be bands like early Arctic Monkeys. I know that's really, really cliche. But my own personal influences are like Alithia and Alice in Chains, and it's so mixed and bringing the horizon. It's hard to translate that into a set project because my guitar playing is so out there. You know, not in a gloat way.
It's very quirky,
but in like I don't have a set genre that I play in.
Yeah.
So I kind of joined and went along with the flow of what the band already was.
Yeah. I mean, for me, lyrically, I like to think, say that. The ones that really affect me are Lower Than Atlantis and Death of Anna. They're like two bands that I've loved over the years. And
Don't Broke.
Oh, Don't Broke. I can't forget Don't Broke. But another one that's really influenced me is Mika. Completely different to the other ones. Mika, the Carpenters, Bonnie Tyler. They're just things I kind of grew up on.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of, it's very eclectic is the word, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps a bit of everything really. I mean, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of difficult to sort of answer that question in terms of inspiration for songwriting and stuff. Because when I came into it, the singles that are already out now were already written. So for me, it was, I can see, like, I can look at the music and I can pick out sort of certain inspirations, whether that was intentional or not. Like, I mean, I can definitely hear sort of 1975, a bit of Muse, in some of these songs that are already out. But I think also it's just a case of sort of considering, you know, in terms of writing, like the fact, I mean, we spent today sort of working on new tracks. I think it's sort of considering, you know, just what have we written so far? Where is this going? And, you know, what is it starting to sound like? You know, is there anyone we can take specific inspiration from? Like, like specifically one of the songs today, I sort of made a big announcement and a big hoo-ha about the fact that one of these songs was really bringing to my mind public service broadcasting. So I've sort of thrown that out into the mix and said, you know, let's listen to some more of their stuff and see what aspects we might be able to take and incorporate in this song if it's appropriate, and if obviously we collectively agree on that.
So would you agree with the genre? I hate genres, but would you agree that pop rock?
I mean, I think that was there just because it was very encompassing. It suited. Just obviously, I'm terrible at describing what our sound is. I'm terrible at describing. Comparing it to bands is terrible. Like, for instance, when I said my influences, they're not necessarily influenced how you might not see it for how I write, but it's just what I love to listen to, and obviously it must rub off on me in some way. I get that. Yeah, so it's just helped because it was encompassing. I mean, now probably it might change when we find or someone's in the shower, so gig, oh, you're this actually, and I like that. That's true. That's better. So yeah,
like I think difficult projects that aren't what I listen to, but this is probably the only project I've been in. Stuff I do actually listen to, like something that is like, where it's like this like rock music, you know, where something
bit of funk here and there.
Yeah, no, I mean it's always difficult, especially when you're first starting out, because of the fact that everyone's always saying, well, what sort of music do you play? Yeah. And when you're first starting out, you don't necessarily know what sort of music you play. You're just playing stuff that you like playing, and it could be, you know, anything. It could be, you know.
When you set out, like, let's start an indie band, let's start a metal band, you kind of limit yourself.
It's very vague anyway.
You might just naturally write something that's amazing. That's not the genre that you predetermine it's going to be.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff we're doing now it's not necessarily the same or in the same style. I think we're still finding what that style is. And there's a lot of the songs that we're working on today as well. They're different. Each one's different. One of them I said was like an early one that's kind of your indie. Like, I imagine you're familiar with In-Betweeners and any kind of British sitcom from the early or like late 2000s. It was kind of like one of them was like that, and then another one was a bit more Green Day-esque. Our work, and it's all a bit. We're still finding our feet, like you said.
I think it's a problem nowadays, is the fact that so many bands actually play so much music that kind of crosses over between genres, and yet things like Spotify and the music press and all that sort of thing still insist on putting you in these nice little neat boxes, which people don't fit into anymore, because it doesn't. Music doesn't have to be like that anymore. It doesn't have to be a specific, you know, you're a rock fan, therefore you're into these specific bands. You know, it can be anything you want it to be now. So I must say, I really liked Deja Vu. I thought Deja Vu is a really great song. I love it. And the video is really good as well. It's just kind of like, it's just kind of, I don't know, silly, happy sort of.
It was meant to be trippy, like someone going insane from being, you know, in lockdown for so long, not being able to see anyone. So having to hide themselves, playing all the characters.
We all live it. So watching it on the video is a bit.
it was an experience to film. I can say the least.
Let's have a look at a clip from another video.
Sitting on high and mighty, up over my high horse. With my head in the clouds, I can barely see my own voice. Takes one bad weekend to realize you lost it all. Now I'm trying to save face, but this is not the time nor place. So no, hide it from my phone. No.
So, have you managed to play any gigs at all or anything?
Not since I've joined.
Not one, unfortunately. It's been.
Would have loved to, but
yeah, we had a few lined up, but obviously cancelled, postponed, any excuse under the sun, really.
So I know. I mean, we were coming out of all this stuff and that sort of thing, but it's been postponed again. So, are you looking to get some gigs lined up as quickly as you can?
Well, actually, we'll talk about this today. We're not actually sure what direction we want to do first. Whether more actual recording singles or have a live set and do some gigs. We're still deciding what we want to do with that.
Yeah.
I guess it's out of fear that we're going to get various lockdowns.
Yeah.
We got so messed up by plans being stopped and started throughout the lockdowns.
Yeah.
It was really a motivation killer. You get out of it, but just being ready for that to happen again.
Yeah.
You can always board.
Exactly.
But gigging is only allowed if COVID lets you do it.
I imagine what we'll do is we'll work around it. If we decide to do recording, we'll probably make our own like kind of live things that we can like videos and stuff like live sets like they used to, like a lot of the bigger bands did when lockdown first happened. They do that. I imagine we look and do something like that, and as opposed to just playing live, just that's more secure. That's more a definite thing that we can do.
Yeah. And when it's open, set in stone, we've got a lot of faith that everything's gonna remain open. And
smash it out of the park, really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you're in a good place for it. Are you in Brighton itself, or whereabouts are you?
Well, me and Robbie are in a place called Peacehaven. That's about 20 minutes away from Brighton, half hour maybe.
Right.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Right, moving out of Brighton last October. I'm currently living in Shropshire for whatever reason.
Okay.
And I'm commuting to Brighton, but it's worth it.
I was going to
say,
Brighton's quite a good place for there's lots of venues around there to play. To play.
Yeah, the venues. You're never sure of them. Always new ones popping up.
So, okay, from here on, then, I mean, I suppose you're recording more singles, recording more stuff. You're looking to put together an album and stuff like that, then?
Just literally like 10 minutes before this interview, chatting about that. I think the consensus is that we're going to work single by single, and sort of try and get as much hype as we can about each release, rather than just sort of presenting a whole load of tracks and then hoping that people will listen to all of them.
I feel like for independent acts, that might be the best thing.
Yeah.
You don't want a song to go and listen to on an EP. You know, the third song won't get listened to as much as the first one in it, for example.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the way people listen to songs. The other thing is, what I'm hoping to get out of this is it's something more methodological. I think the word. It's something that we can do, like it's repetitious. It's like we can do it on a regular basis, as opposed to being silent for a while and then just doing this for like have a period of 3 months where we tease an EP or tease an album and then promote it for a bit, and then it's just quiet. This way, we have something constantly rolling out. So constantly making noise, which I think is annoyingly the thing I hate the most, is the most important thing is being noisy.
No, I don't. I mean, this is it. It used to be that you would play gigs everywhere, as many venues as you possibly could in a short space of time as you can. Nowadays, with the way that the internet works and the way everything goes, you've got to kind of continually flood the market with tracks, because that's the way you get noticed. That's the way people hear their music nowadays. I've got to say, I was told last night, by my daughter-in-law, that if I didn't ask you where the name came from, I'd be in trouble.
There it is.
It all comes up. It's something I love. Any plug or anything we've had, it's always the name.
Well, I thought I'd leave it for a while, let you introduce.
No, it's fine. I need to make a like concise story, because it's something it's essentially it's been with my partner for a while. We my partner's family had this really old corgi that it obviously corgis are like foxes, but it was so dopey and like so like sloppish. It was kind of like referred to as a wombat. And unfortunately, it would always get tripped over because it would always walk up behind you and you wouldn't know it's there. And eventually, everyone started calling it a Foxy Wombat, and then it started becoming like an in-joke. And then, we've had this name for many years before this was even a band. even when it was a band for like a year, that wasn't the name. We didn't have a name for a year. So it kind of, for instance, it's been my email address for the past God knows how many years. But essentially what happened was we needed a name. I came up with a list of names, and then it was just for like an assessment. And like, oh, you need to have a name for your assessment. So I was like, no one had any ideas. So I was like, let's just do this one, because we can change it later. And it's just kind of stuck. And I think it's the best decision ever, because it's always what gets picked up on, and I love it.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, you've got a name that people are going to look at and go, "What's that about?"
It's also a name that you Google it. I'm not saying I'm being embarrassed to have Google myself. It comes up. That's to my surprise, it comes up and it's there. In past bands I've had, it's always been like buried within pages of Google.
Yeah.
And random other things. But
there's no one else called that.
Yeah.
No, it's very true. I was hoping for something really inspirational, some kind of like.
Oh, we're just tripping over a corgi. That's all that's been happening. Yeah, no.
The best names come from the strangest.
Yeah.
So yes. So what about? I mean, you obviously you're a man down at the moment. So what's happening about that? Are you going to be doing auditions, or have you got somebody in mind? Or
yeah, we're doing auditions tomorrow actually. A very really full-on weekend we've got going. Auditions are tomorrow. Yeah, because we like to plan a good few days of doing stuff together as a band. Due to the travel you've got to do. So we crammed in like rehearsals, and we're doing photo stuff tomorrow as well. Yeah. And we're doing a couple of auditions for a drummer as well tomorrow. It's very exciting. We've never done proper auditions. It was normally a drink down the pub, and you're right, you're in. That was what I got. That's literally how
yeah. I didn't really hear my guitar playing either.
That's the thing, we didn't. We just prayed and spoke, but you weren't bad.
Yeah.
That's the easy drink. Yeah, you just came through.
He just dragged me along to rehearsal. It was like, here you go.
It's a bass player.
He plays bass. He'll do.
It's like, luckily, it's worked out really well, and
it's all been good.
Despite all the changes and dropouts and whatever happened, we've always somehow landed on our feet.
That's good.
Yeah, that's always good.
Well, I wish you the best of luck for finding a new drummer. Drummers are quite often the difficult ones to find, because of the fact that it's one of those things. It used to be, I don't know about now, but it used to be, if you stood at the bar in a music pub and threw a 10p over your shoulder, you'd hit a guitarist.
Yeah, it's still the same.
The chances of you hitting a drummer were sort of like 1 in 1,000.
Well, Robbie to maybe go on drums for us because of that reason.
Yeah, but then again, find the bassist is pretty much the same.
Yeah, so we were lucky. We landed 2 people that we're going to audition, so we know how hard it is. So to have 2 potential people is really, really cool. Yeah, so we'll see you on that one.
Very excited. Yeah.
And as a last resort, I'll learn to play drums and bass at the same time.
Have like some string set up, so you can like kind of pull that string. Who does that
know? What's his name? The guy from Coldplay, the drummer from Coldplay, was a guitarist. He'd never played drums before he joined the band. They got him to learn drums because they needed a drummer, not a guitarist.
I mean, I know that in like. I know in their live performances he plays a bit of guitar, but I didn't know that he was a guitarist.
Yeah, he was a rhythm guitarist, but they didn't need a rhythm guitarist. They needed a drummer, so they got him to learn to play drums.
So if you get lost, then that's pretty much the.
It worked out for him.
It will. Oh my god! I think they split. They split everything equally as well.
Yeah.
So he just turns up. Gets paid, a life.
Yeah.
One more video clip.
Last night was like a blood.
No, I got to say, I do really like the music. What we got? Two Drinks Too Deep is one, and Bad Weekend. Love Bad Weekend. I think it's great. And as I say, I really like Deja Vu. I'm looking forward to hearing more of your stuff when it comes out, and to seeing you do some different videos.
We've got I don't want to. Yeah, we've got we've got a very interesting one in the works. When
the video that's in the works is,
I don't know how much. I don't even want to spoil anything, but I mean, it involves a lot of green screen. I'll say that.
Yeah,
a lot of kind of South Park inspired kind of
bizarre,
very rough.
I'd say Monty Python-esque. You know, like those little snippets and in like they have in the movies that separate the skits.
Yeah,
it's a bit like
that kind of very very amateurish animation that just adds to the humor and the.
It's a trip, and I'm loving every second of it. To be fair, every little, I mean, Rob's working at the most. Every little thing he shows us, it just gets better and better and more obscure and more weird. And I'm like, just nothing I was expecting. And nothing like the initial plan for that. We were trying to do a music video. We had the plan for that Two Drinks music video before the Deja Vu one. But because of the way things happened, obviously we've moved about and stuff.
Yeah,
it's just so far from that initial idea.
It was a case that like everything you had planned kind of had to go down the drain again because of lockdown and stuff. So it was a case of, well, we still want to do a video. What can we do? And Dean was kind of throwing out a lot of suggestions of kind of a lot of bands, indie bands, have done a lot of sort of green screen videos that kind of intentionally doesn't look great. You know, that's the aesthetic we're going for, and we kind of thought, well, let's do something like that, but kind of just be as silly as we can with it. So we all individually from home filmed ourselves on green screens, just like improvising random things. And I've kind of, for the most part, not been telling these guys what I'm editing. I'm just grabbing bits out and just sticking it together. And it
sounds really interesting. I can't wait to see that. It's interesting because it's like the first band I did for the podcast, Nova Story. They had a video planned for one of their singles, and they couldn't make the video they wanted to. So the lead singer, she learned how to do stop frame animation. To make a video for the band.
That is awesome. Yeah, that's amazing.
That is, it's a feat, and it's pain. I mean, we tried to do that as well. We got some unused footage for a lyric video for Two Drinks, which is all stop frame kind of animation. But because of how long and tedious it was, we never finished it. We got like halfway. Yeah. So we got like random using food and random. It's so weird. Maybe it will come out at some point, but I know it's a pain. It's a task and a half, really.
When you bring your live DVD out, then you can put that on as a sort of
oh my god, yeah, little bloopers, little extras.
Yeah. We've got to do something with the green screen leftovers as well.
Oh, we will. We're going to make the most of that.
We've filmed really embarrassing stuff.
The thing is, if you've got enough, you could probably make 2 or 3 videos out of it. Just together differently.
You see, I've still got the green screen up, so I think I've still got to shoot a few things. It's literally been in my flat. It's on the wall. It's just there for like months.
And a camera just ready to film whatever.
Not creepy at all. Just having a camera set up in the living room,
just eating in front of it.
I mean,
it's been really great talking to you. I hope you get on really well with doing the music and get out there playing live at some point, because I would love to come and see you guys live. But there's a lot of energy in your music, and I think that playing that live would be really, really good. I wish you all the best with everything you do, and as I say, hope to see more from you very, very soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much. It's been lovely. This has been our first actual interview other than the Dean one. This is in face, kind of face to face. It's scary.
It's been a pleasure talking to you. It's been really cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having us on.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you to everyone for watching, and I will see you again. Look out for Foxy Wombat, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Take care.
Hi, just want to say, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and watch the other videos from all the other bands, because there might be something you haven't seen yet, a band that you know nothing about that you can watch and go, wow, That's brilliant. Or you can just go, oh, I like them. Maybe I'll find out more about them. That would be cool. And thank you very much. Talking Music with Big Andy.